Welcome to the free edition of Stock Market Pulse. My name is Eric, and today is Saturday, July 16th, 2016. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to sign up for free email trade alerts at stockoptionassassin.com. You're going to see the sign up right on the homepage. You can't miss it. So in today's video, I'm going to share a tool I use to find stocks with huge upside potential. And then I'm going to show you how I time my entry and place the stops and all that stuff for managing the trade. And the trade we're going to look at today is one that our free subscribers and I are still in as of this video. And the stock's actually up 30% since our entry about a week ago on July 8th. It was just 5 trading days ago. Okay, I'm sorry, 6 trading days ago. It's really 5.5 because we got in the middle of Friday. But so, over the past several months, I've been telling my subscribers that this market, the 2016 market, is clearly a stock pickers market for those that are biased to the long side. And you can see in the chart of the SPY here, this is a weekly chart, that we've basically been trading sideways. And we didn't know it in 2014, but October 2014 actually marked the bottom of the range for the next, we're going on 2 years, right? So we've got a few more months, but really, I just wanted to point out that the market's been trading sideways for the last, basically 2 years. And yes, we are starting to poke our head up here, so that's good for the bulls. But again, this is a stock pickers market, and the tool I want to share is to help you, find stocks that are able to make bigger returns in some of the markets. We're going to compare some of the big name stocks with the same tool so you can kind of get a feel for this. So the tool I've been using to help me be a stock picker is there's a certain part of the graphing section in VectorVest. This is a software program that does a lot of fundamental analysis. It does some other things. It's got its pros and cons, just like any other platform. But this one sort of graphing layout, I think, for me, has really helped me pick stocks. And then I use my technical analysis that you guys are probably used to with the DMI and all that, really for entry. And we're going to look at that in a minute. But first, let's just take a look at this stock. This is the stock we're in. It's YRD, Urindai. I don't know how you say it, but it's in the financial credit services industry sector. And in the graphing tool of VectorVest, I have the ticker here, and it's got some buy and sell. Obviously, it's a buy. They rate it as a buy. But these two sort of lines and histograms here, these are the two things that help me determine if on the value side, I think the stock can play catch up or move more than the market. So the first one, this green line, is what's considered the value line. And VectorVest does its own algorithm, and I think it's over 2 or 3 years, it figures out what this stock should be in value. So what we can see here is that the program has the stock valued up right now above, $34.46. Okay, so the candlesticks here, this is where the stock is actually trading. So this stock, as far as this program is concerned, is undervalued. So that's one of the things that I look for, is I want to find undervalued stocks, because money tends to flow into things that are undervalued. Buy low, sell high, buy things when they're cheap or at a discount or whatever, all the old sayings. So money tends to flow in these undervalued stocks. So that's one of the things I look for. So this stock, YRD, it's undervalued. The second thing I've added to my graph is earnings per share. So when we see a stock that has, and this is just a 6-month chart here, when you see a stock that has had earnings growth for 6 months and it's undervalued, those are two sort of big things that tell you, okay, this is something that we can get into. Now, we'll also look at the graph itself. Sometimes, this chart's actually bullish, right? It goes from sort of the bottom left to the upper right. So, that's sort of a third thing. You don't want to buy a stock that's tanking after earnings for whatever reason, even if these other lines are there. So I guess there's really 3 components, but the 2 components that I'm using from the VectorVest graphing section is the value line, right? That's what they have it valued at, and the earnings per share. And I like to see this increase. So let's compare this to, in a minute, I'm going to show you how we timed this YRD trade. And And like I said, we're up 30% as of last a week ago, Friday, July 8th. But let's look at a couple other stocks just to kind of show you what, some stocks you might be more familiar with. So let's look at Facebook, right? Very popular. Let's go back to a 6-month graph. So let's look at the chart, right? So first of all, where is the green line? The green line is below where the stock is trading. So according to VectorVest, this stock is overvalued, okay? And look what the stock's done. It's actually been trading sideways. So again, even though the earnings per share has been rising, if the stock's already, be trading for more than it's theoretically worth, then there could be some, it could be a slow mover. And you can see in the last 3 months, yeah, it's sort of held on during Brexit, but it really hasn't broken out with the market either, right? Because this is where you get into valuations. You hear all this stuff on CNBC. So this is a tool you can use and not have to worry about those guys, right? We're trying to do this ourselves. Let's look at Amazon, okay? Oops. Let's look at Amazon. Okay, same thing, rising earnings, but according to this, I mean, it's way overvalued. Now, again, let me just say, you're not going to just see the value, the value and the candlesticks just come together and all this and just be together at all times. Markets don't work like that. We're looking for opportunities where stocks are undervalued to just, it gives them a little bit better chance to be moving higher. So let's look at some bank stocks. Let's look at Bank of America. Bank of America, again, overvalued. Look, declining earnings, right? This is like it's overvalued and it's losing earnings, right? So, I mean, part of that has to do with the dollar, right? But I don't want to get into that. Citigroup just reported earnings. It's basically been trading sideways between, 38 and 45, 10% range, but the earnings are declining, right? So these are stocks I really don't want to trade, at least directionally, okay? You can trade spreads and do all kinds of things, but when I'm looking for stock buys, and when I'm not even talking about options right now, just want to buy stocks, this is one of the tools I use, and I really enjoy it, and I think it's really helping our members and I. So let's go through some other names that you might be interested in, and I'm going to go through ones that we are actually in. So if you were signed up already to our free trade alerts, you know that we got into YRD, right? I just want to show you the value, and then we're going to go to the trading platform. But so YRD, we're in. We're up 30%. HBP, here's another one. Okay, undervalued, rising earnings, bullish chart. We're in this. We're up, 5% or so. We're going to do GV, Goldfield. Again, rising value, rising earnings, rising chart. And the last one we're in is called MEAT. Okay, again, rising value, rising earnings. And we took all of these trades about a week ago, and our entire portfolio here is up about 13% in a week, so give or take. Another trade we did recently is gold. Let's talk about gold for a second. When gold was really starting to move higher, which was, several weeks, months ago, this is the stock we were sort of playing. And look at this. Again, the value is up. It's an undervalued gold stock. Okay, think about that. Gold's rising in value, and this gold and silver miner, silver's had a hell of a run. This gold and silver miner is undervalued. Well, we got in this. We had a 30% gain, and I'll be honest with you, we had a crappy exit. The stock went on to make about a 45% gain, and we got out a 30% gain. So we didn't get out the top, but we did get kind of the meat of the move here. We caught this run. We got out right in this area, $7-8, and actually went all the way up to 9, and now it's since pulled back. So, the timing, that's a whole nother thing, and the stops and all that stuff. But just the idea that you can find an undervalued stock using this, this sort of green value line with rising earnings, and that's really what I wanted to show you with the tool I've been using. Okay, so we're going to focus on YRD because I want to talk to you about the timing. Once you find a stock that is undervalued, rising earnings, how you get in it. Okay, how do you get in this name to actually make the trade? So let's go to back to Thinkorswim. This is where I actually make my trades. And I'm going to switch back to a daily chart. So this is YRD. And at this point, let me just remove this and remove this real quick. So one of the things we always look for before I send a trade alert out is really what the overall market's doing. And I want you to think about this. When you look at this chart, do you know what day Brexit happens? Okay. Do you guys know which one that is? And the answer is no, you don't. And that's one of the things we look for is this stock hanging out or doing better than the market? So let's go back to the SPY, and it's a little bit more obvious where Brexit was. It was right here, right? Okay. Think about this. June 23rd, it dropped, it came back up and ended up breaking out. But this 23rd to 24th, this is a Thursday, Friday, this dip, if you look at this on YRD, okay, was right here. This is the day. Yeah, it fell a little bit, but it didn't even break support. It just kind of came into its previous support and kind of bounced back. So that's one of the things we look for is how the stock compares to the rest of the market. So, so once Brexit was over, and then we had the jobs report, we said, okay, things are looking better. Bonds and gold are coming down. Let's get in some stocks. So this is one of the first stocks we jumped on. And this yellow arrow is the day I sent the trade alert out. So I want to show you the entry, right? So what I do is I drill down to a smaller time frame. I really like the 4-hour chart, and I really like the DMI stochastic extreme. So basically, with a 4-hour chart, there's basically 2 candlesticks per day. There's a 9 a.m. and a 13 or 1 p.m., if you will. So in the afternoon, this is after the jobs report, I got a green arrow buy, and I want you to think about all the factors here. The market's recovered. This is an undervalued stock with earnings growth. We had a strong jobs report. This was the perfect entry. Now, we entered forward trade, so had you been a subscriber to the free alerts, you would have gotten those. And then we placed our stop, which typically we would place the stop somewhere near this lower Keltner channel to give it some room. This is an ATR-based Keltner channel. And we had a nice little run. So as of right now, as of this video, this is Saturday. We'll see where we get. We enter, and this isn't the perfect thing, but we are up about 30%. And this is 5 trading days. Let's go back to the daily chart and see what that looks like. Okay. We got in on Friday. We held it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. It got all the way up here, but even back here, we are up about 30%. So I just wanted to kind of share with you a full process of trading. We'll be raising our stops and things. If you'd like to get follow-up information about this trade, or you want to get into our new trades, remember, go back to the website and put your name in the box, and we'll hear from you later. You guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.